Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Local 3 News. I'm Rebecca Bartlemay, and joining me is Jim McCommons. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so we're talking about a book that you had recently published. What is that book?
That book is called Camera Hunter, George Shiras III and the Birth of Wildlife Photography by the University of New Mexico Press.
All right, and what's the book all about?
The book is about, it's a biography of George Shiras, who was considered the father of wildlife photography. He was also somebody that people knew locally because he did much of his work in northern Michigan. Shiras started to experiment with the camera in the 1880s, 1890s. He was a hunter. He liked to hunt deer, but he was also picking up the hobby of photography. A lot of other people were. But because of what he liked to do, he started to point that camera at animals. And initially, they would go out at night because it was hard to get close to a deer during the day with a crude camera. And they would go out at night, and when they heard an animal on the shoreline, they would slowly push their canoe towards the animal. They would put a light on it, and then George would stand up in the boat with a chemical flashlight, and there'd be a large explosion, and he would take a picture. It took 3 years for it to work when he finally got his first image. It was improved as time went on, and they started to set these cameras on shore using tripwires, so the animal would take its own picture. And that really is the invention of the trail camera.
We're talking off camera that this kind of led to an act that he helped create, right?
He was a close friend of Theodore Roosevelt's. And of course, Theodore Roosevelt was a big champion of setting aside land, saving wildlife. At that time, wildlife numbers were quite low. And that was because of overhunting, loss of habitat. Roosevelt was trying to save land, and there was a need for legislation to basically protect birds. And so Shiras introduced the Shiras Bird Bill, which was the very first attempt for the feds to take jurisdiction over birds. Eventually that led to the Migratory Bird Act, which saved millions of birds.
How can people get this book?
The book is available locally in Snowbound. It's also available at a Canterbury bookstore in Escanaba. You can order it on Amazon, or you can order directly from the University of New Mexico Press, or go to your local bookstore and ask them to order it.
For more information, you can check out our website, upmatters.com, and tune to Local 3 News tonight at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock Central for more local news, weather, and sports.